Hello, hello. I'm back for Mindfulness Monday. Welcome, 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 welcome. If you did not tune in earlier, I went live telling you or explaining to you a little bit about my journey of truth, a little bit or a piece of my truth, okay? The journey of how I became or how I am becoming, because the evolution of truth is always, which means I'm not the person who I was yesterday. I'm not the person who I was a few minutes ago. I'm always evolving. So tune in with me. Tune in. Speaking of tuning in, I forgot one of my tools, but I'm going to explain it to you. So I told you guys earlier, if you tuned in with me, that I wanted to share my toolbox. So I have an actual toolbox here. Stay tuned in with me. This toolbox represents the type of work that I do. This toolbox represents how I move through and get through my days. It represents how I cope. It represents how I heal. It represents how I fix me when I need fixing, because that's what tools are for, right? But the first thing that you need to keep in mind whenever you are using any type of tools, you have to keep an open mind. Okay? Stay with me. This is a toolbox. We mostly keep these under our kitchen sink and our car. We always have them on hand whenever we need to fix something. What do you have at hand when you're feeling like you're low in your moods, when you're feeling depressed, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling overwhelmed? What do you have in your toolbox? Okay? So today I'm going to unpack my toolbox in hopes that it'll help you to build your own. The first thing, examine it. Examine it. Keep an open mind that before I even open this toolbox, everything in here may not be something that I need to use. Everything in here, I may not know how to work it, okay? But keep an open mind. These things right here, this one's empty. So I'm going to remove it. Think of the toolbox as your mind. This represents our mental. I'm taking out things from my mind that are not helpful for me. Taking out things in compartments that I can't use. Can't use that, so I'm not going to use it. Taking out and clearing out clutter, right? To make space. Again, stay with me. Tune in with me. The toolbox represents your mind. It represents our minds, okay? Sometimes we have to empty out things in our mind that aren't serving us peace. Emptying out those negative thoughts, emptying out people, places, and things, words that people have said to us that have taken place in mental real estate in our minds, okay? Let me show you how we do that. You unlock the box. This is how you open your mind. This is your toolbox. This is your tool. You have to unlock it. You have to unlock it by being open-minded. Open-minded to understanding that whatever comes out, it may not all be things that you can use right now. It also may bring up some baggage. It also may bring up different feelings of pain, of trauma. But we have tools that we're putting back into our box, so just stay tuned in. Removing things in compartments, again, that do not serve us peace. This can represent me taking out that old belief that I was raised, to feel like my opinions don't matter. I don't want that in my mind no more. I don't want to live my life like that, so I'm going to excuse this out of my way. I study systems. Systems meaning the systems of life. I study human behavior, which means how we operate, how our mind is connected to our body, how our feelings come out in our facial expressions, how our feelings come out in the things that we say, how our relationships and our interactions are all based on systems. Life is a system. The way that our bodies function is a system. The way that you not necessarily beat life, but the way that you learn how to move through life in your truth, you have to learn how to work the system, y'all. So I'm going to give you a system of how you can kind of channel and work with your mental health, okay? Work is a system. Think about it. You get up, you're in routine, you clock in, you do the work, you clock out. You go on lunch break at a certain time. That's a system, okay? School is a system. You get in, they teach you something, they give you a piece of paper, you're supposed to go on to the next system to use that. You have to learn how to work the system because it will work if you work it. I mentioned earlier, I just graduated from grad school. A lot of my classmates were so stressed out. A lot of them were so depressed, thinking about, oh my God, I have this assignment. Why are they doing this? I don't know what to do. Guess what I was doing? I knew the system. So guess what I did? I aced grad school. It was a breeze for me. It was a lot of writing, but I knew the system. What system in your life are you operating on that no longer works for you? What system are you still moving around using that does not work for you? Okay? Another thing. This is a hammer. So let's just say I have a nail that's loose. I'm not gonna use a screwdriver if there's a nail loose on my wall. Me pulling out this to try to unscrew that nail, it's not gonna work. Why? Because this tool does not apply to the type of work that is needing to be handled. So learning what's in your mind and learning what type of traumas, what type of stresses that you're going through will help you to understand what type of tools you're needing to put into your toolbox that can help you in those moments. Again, it's a nail hanging out the wall, which could represent a wound, which could represent me being triggered, something from my past coming up and me feeling like, oh my God, I don't know how to deal with that. I'm not gonna screw it in. I don't wanna keep that. So I'm gonna get a hammer, and I'm not gonna hammer it in and make it stand firmer and make it stay more still, whatever it's called in my brain. I'm gonna turn it this way. But guess what? Oh, I hope y'all with me. I'm real excited about this. I hope y'all are with me. Because again, if this nail, which is this trauma, which is that old belief, which is that I don't matter, you don't deserve love, you will never be enough. If that's what that nail represents, I'm not going to tighten that into here. I'm going to get that up out of here. But guess what? The nail is not just going to come out the wall without me doing the actual work to get it out the wall. Are y'all hearing me? So you have to do the work in order to get it up out of there. Otherwise, it's just going to stay. Meaning, if you recognize that you are triggered, if you recognize that you have trauma, and you're not doing anything, if you're not going into your toolbox and being open-minded on how can I heal this, how can I fix this, you'll always be living with that trauma and that nail in your mind. But again, ain't nobody gonna come give you no hammer and tell you, hey, get that up out of there. You got to figure out what's in your toolbox to deal with the things that are in your life. So what I'm going to do with that nail, because I don't believe that I don't matter. I don't believe that I'm not enough. Because I am enough. I do matter. So I'm going to get my tool out of my toolbox. And I'm going to turn this hammer this way. And I'm going to get that nail about my life. You hear me? First tool. Let's just say, let me see what else we got. I used a screw. So let's just say you're needing to get more grounded in motivation. I'm not happy. The seed is planted there because I get up and I tell me, hey, I'm enough. So that's the screw. In order for me to tighten in feeling motivated, in order for me to stay motivated, in order for me to stay inspired, guess what I'm gonna do with that screw? I'm not gonna use the hammer. Again, welcome to Mindfulness Monday. Welcome to Mindfulness Monday. If you're just now joining in, please stay tuned in with me. I am showing you guys tools that are in my toolbox and how you can use them to build your own toolbox to help you get some of that clutter and things out of your space, out of your life, out of your mind that are not serving you peace, things that are bringing you down, things that are keeping you depressed and anxious and just worried about everything else that don't matter, okay? So I opened the box, which is my mind, because I have an open mind. I'm not closed to different tools that may not work. I'm going to keep an open mind because it may be something in here that can work for me. What does not work for me, excuse me. Okay? So if this is your mind, and these compartments that are on here don't have anything on there that serve you, which means these compartments that are telling you you suck, you're trash, you can't do it, which may be those voices in there. Excuse me. Let me open up my mind to new ideas, to new ways of living, so that I can work what may work for me. So as I was talking about, if that screw in that wall represents, oh, I'm motivated. I feel inspired. Not all the time, but it's hanging out of my wall. It just needs to be tightened up, okay? You're not going to pull out a hammer when you see a screw of motivation that needs to be tightened in, which means it needs to be more embedded into that wall. That screw represents me needing to tighten it, me needing to twist it, to embed me feeling more than enough into my head, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to pull out this hammer and try to tap that screw in. This is not the right tool for that. Excuse me, you don't work for that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the screw in there and I'm going to tighten that screw until it's all the way embedded into my mind. How do you tighten a screw of motivation and inspiration? Repetition. How do you repeatedly affirm and motivate yourself? You find a way to motivate yourself every single day, even when you don't feel like it, okay? Now, all of this is, again, creating new habits. So you're removing that baggage and you're creating a new habit. So you're going to tighten that screw and you're going to repeat that and you're going to keep repeating it. You're going to keep telling yourself I'm enough. You're going to keep telling yourself I got this. You're going to keep telling yourself I'm powerful until you believe it, okay? That's another tool. Please let me know if y'all following me, if I'm making sense. I don't want to be on here talking to myself, but I'm real passionate about this. This is how I live my life daily. This is how I get through my life when I'm feeling stressed out. This is how I get through my life when I'm feeling uninspired and no motivation. This is how I get through my life when I'm sitting there sad, when I'm crying, when I'm anxious about things that are not in my control. This is how I get through my life, okay? So if I'm sharing this with you and you hear me, let me know. Again, there are going to be some things in your toolbox that don't serve you. I just learned what this was. So guess what? It's been scooted to the side. But there is a time in my life where I needed to hang something and I did some research. How can I measure these nails? Oh, this is what this is for? So you put this on the wall and it helps you to get your lines straight so that you can evenly hang up your picture. Why is this tool important? Because a lot of times we have tools and resources that are laying all around us. But because we have no idea what they are, because they are unfamiliar to us, because we didn't grow up using them, which can represent, again, different resources such as therapy, such as yoga, such as meditation, things that seem to be out of the norm, those can be your new tools. Okay? Again, it didn't work. This won't work for me tightening in and getting that motivation and deeply embedded into my mind. It's the wrong tool. So how can this work for you? How can this apply to you? I just want to tell y'all what's in my toolbox. Those were just examples. I'm going to share with you some of my tools, okay? First, I opened up my mind and I asked myself, does this system work for me? Does this system of getting up every day at an alarm clock work for my spirit? Is this working for me? Am I happy at work every day? Am I feeling fulfilled? Something feels like it's always missing. Let me research and find some new tools. Okay? So I opened up my mind. I questioned my systems. I questioned the foundation I was built on. I questioned Why am I going to church every Sunday if I'm not receiving the message? Or why am I going to church every Sunday if the people in the church are the most critical? All of those systems that we grew up on, I questioned them. And there's nothing wrong with questioning. Question them, and there's nothing wrong with questioning, okay? Questioning things also lets you understand that you may not always find answers, but I'm in search of my truth. So what I do, some of the tools that I have, some of the tools that I've discovered, every day when I wake up now, the first thing that I do, when my eyes open, no matter if I'm exhausted, no matter if I don't feel like getting into my day, first breathe consciously, because your breath is the most important tool that you have. It can't fit in a box, but it's always with you. Okay? Breathe. The next thing I do, thank you. Thank you. Somebody didn't get to wake up. Somebody's not breathing. Thank you. All right? Practicing gratitude. Again, and just like that screw in the wall, it's not even it. But just like that screw in the wall, I tighten that routine into my mind every single day for the last 5 years. Every single day when I first open my eyes, I get a thank you. Every single day. Okay? Another thing that's in my toolbox. It's a simple thing, but it's major. This is a pen. The pen is also black. By opening up my mind, I was able to learn and study color symbolisms. Everything around me today has meaning. Every time I walk into a room or into a space or outside, I'm connected. Why? Because I found my truth in those spaces. The color black represents power. The color black represents protection. The color black represents stability. Okay? So every time I notice and lay my eyes on something that's black, I'm reminded that I need to be stable. I'm reminded that I am powerful, and I am reminded that I am protected. Because that's something that that screw was loose. I tightened it every single day by studying these things. And now I apply that principle of color symbolism to my life. If I wear the color green, the first thing that I notice, green represents embracing change. Green represents nature. It represents getting grounded. It represents me just feeling grounded in the truth of who I am. So I'm going to lock my eyes on that. And guess what I'm going to do? To help me in my toolbox, to help me stay grateful, to help me stay aware, and to help me stay in tune with my truth, I'm going to tighten it every single day. Are y'all hearing me? Please let me know if I'm making sense. Another thing with the pen and how this is a mindfulness tool, I understand that who's holding this pen is me. You not holding my pen, I'm holding my pen, which means I am in full control of writing or rewriting my own story. So if I give you a pen and I say, here, I want you to go write your story, and I want you to hold that pen and understand that the power is in your hands to rewrite or to write your story. Okay? Mindfulness tool. Another thing, this is a mirror. This is a mirror. As simple as it may sound, if nobody tells you that you're dope, if nobody tells you that you're beautiful, if nobody tells you that you're good enough, you got to tell it to yourself. So with this mirror, which we pass all day, every day, this is another tool of mine. Every morning, I go in that bathroom mirror. Guess what I say to myself? Oh, I love you. And sometimes I find myself doing that throughout my day. Because guess what? Sometimes Janae needs to hear that. And sometimes Janae wants other people to tell her, oh, I love you. Oh, you're doing a great job. Oh, Janae, you are amazing. I see you. Oh, Janae, you got this. Oh, Janae, all is well. Oh, Janae, it's nothing to worry about. So guess what? Instead of Janae waiting around and going through her day, waiting on other people to pour into her and to fill her cup back up, guess what she does? Ooh, absolutely. You fine. You are beautiful. You are amazing. I am amazing. I love you. Yes, I love you. You know why? Because I know what I've been through. Many of us and many of you have been through some stuff. You've been through some stuff, and it's okay. I got you. But in order for me to have you and other people to have you, you gotta have you first, sweetie. You gotta have you. So affirm yourself. Affirm yourself by telling yourself nice things. Don't beat yourself up all day. Ooh, my hair ugly. Ooh, I'm fat. I'm gaining weight. I don't look good. No, excuse me. We get enough of that from other people. Tell it to yourself until you believe it. The way that you tell it to yourself until you believe it, remember, repetition represents consistency, which is also a form of discipline. That screw that's loose, that represents shame, that represents body image, and represents just you not looking your best. That screw that's loose, either you can take that out and say, hey, I'm not dealing with my body today. Or guess what? You can tighten it up with esteem. You can tighten it up and say, I'm dope. I am amazing. Yeah, I am beautiful. Yeah, I got this every single day. All right? Again, welcome to Mindfulness Monday. Welcome to Mindfulness Monday. Another tool. And let me let you know how the tools work and how important they are. We all have a source. Okay? Everyone has a source. Source meaning your intuition. Source meaning that inner guide, that inner God. Source meaning the thing that works as your, let me just explain it to you this way. You see this outlet? You see this cord? You see this? If I plug this into my phone, is my phone just going to automatically charge on its own? No. I got to plug it into source. So when it comes to you, when it comes to things that you're needing, if I say I'm beautiful and I don't plug it into the source, if I don't tighten that every single day and make sure that it works, it's not just going to work. Same with this. If I don't plug in my phone, it's not just going to charge on its own. Message being, it will work if you work it. All right? I'm kind of letting you guys into my personal space, my mind. So if you're in here listening and watching, I hope you get something out of this. A lot of times, I start my videos off with the remote clicker. A lot of things that I post, I say, tune in. Not necessarily tune in to me, but tuning into you. So tuning into me is you tuning into you, because I'm providing you with tools of self-awareness so that you can find your truth. Okay? The remote also represents, if you don't like what's on the TV channel, guess what you do? You turn it. If you don't want to watch this, guess what you do? You click off. Imagine if we applied that same principle of turning things on and off with the way that we apply what we let into our minds, with what we listen to. If I don't want to hear that song, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn it off. If your conversation is not aligning with where I currently am, if your conversation is not motivating me and bringing me peace and inspiring me to do better, guess what I'm going to do? Excuse me, not today. If the radio, if the messages are just trash and women ain't shit, you ain't this, you ain't that, oh, absolutely not. Guess what I'm going to do? Turn it off. So that's what the remote is. It's a mindfulness tool. It's a message. Tune in with yourself by uncovering things that no longer work for you and replacing them with things in ways that you would like to feel, okay? Another tool. This is the book, A Year of Living Your Yoga, Daily Practices to Shape Your Life. Each day has a message. It's a calendar. Each day has a message. Today says February 13th. When am I resisting? Nope, that's not what it says. Let me rewind that. Excuse me. When I am resisting, I am suffering. The prompt for today says, resisting life is the root of all suffering. If you feel agitated, sad, or afraid today, ask yourself, what am I resisting? Again, a tool. And welcome to Mindfulness Monday. Another tool, another journal or a book this year will be daily affirmations, daily tools of writing, journaling prompts to help me make sure that I'm getting the best out of my life, okay? I hope y'all tuned in with me. Another tool. The Bible is a tool, y'all. A lot of us grew up on the system of religion, the system of study a Bible, live by the Bible, all of this. But have you ever really just read the Bible? Have you read this? It's a tool. It's a way of life. It's a reference. Okay? I can't say it enough. These are all tools, y'all. They're all around us. Speaking of tools, let me plug in my phone. Let me connect it to source. Again, welcome to Mindfulness Monday. I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Okay. Another tool. You can use water. Water takes the form of whatever container it's placed in. If this is a bathtub, if I fill my bathtub up full of water, guess what? Now it's shaped as a bathtub. If you plug up the sink and stop it up and fill it up with water, guess what? It takes the shape of that sink. We are known to be made up of 80% of water. Why can't we be more fluid and take the form of whatever environments that we're in sometimes? That doesn't mean change who you are. That means get more in flow. That means stop trying to change everything that's happening around you and flow with what's happening in your life. Because when things come up, pay attention to a river stream or water stream. When there are rocks just sitting there, does that stop the water from flowing? Absolutely not. That water is flowing around whatever obstacles is in its way. Be more fluid. Be more like water. Another mindfulness tool. Again, welcome to Mindfulness Monday. I started off this live by saying, we have to keep an open mind. Now, whether you keep an open mind or a closed mind, that's your business. Opening your mind up allows you access to different tools and resources that are just around you. Stripping yourself from the foundation and the system of how we were raised. Stripping yourself of the foundation of what it is that you're supposed to do. But based on who? Based on what? That doesn't fit the mode of who I am. So if my piece doesn't fit into the place that it's trying to place me in, if I'm too big to be placed into a box, guess what? I'm not going. You could be the same. If you know that you are, as I described earlier, I'm like a butterfly. I'm like a caterpillar. Every so often I feel that I have to cocoon, which means I close down, I shut down, no phone calls, no outings. I have to go within myself to soul search, to dig more deep, to figure out what I want today, what I want in my life now, what's changing, who am I no longer. Let me strip myself from all the things that I used to be because that's no longer me. Who am I becoming? Y'all hear me? Opening up my mind and expanding my toolbox. If I'm feeling stressed out, the tool of that day may be, let me go take a walk in nature. If I'm feeling stressed out, the tool may be, let me take a nice ride, listen to some soft vibes. If I'm feeling just mentally cluttered, the tool of that moment may be, let me pull out my pen, which reminds me that I write my own story, and let me journal just about my feelings. The tool of that moment may be, I don't know what I'm needing. Let me look around. Let me observe. Let me tune into my senses. What can I see? What can I touch? What do I smell? What do I feel? What can I taste? That's a mindfulness tool. All mindfulness is the ability to remain present, not to allow what's happening in your mind to take you somewhere else that's disconnected from your body and your being, okay? Another tool, crystals. Waste You by True is my brand. Again, I'm true. Waste You by True. I create handcrafted waist beads, all using crystals. Bracelets, necklaces, headbands, armbands, anklets, all things using crystals, okay? Many people come up to my table when I'm doing pop-ups. Oh, I want to try it. Like, I'm really interested in learning. I'm like, what's up? Talk to me. I'm really interested, but I grew up, like, my family is very Christian. My family's in the church. They don't believe in that. They think it's witchcraft. Perspective is everything. However they feel, that's their business. But that's what I mean when I say channeling or challenging some of the systems that we grew up on. If it's not resonating with who you are in this space, in this season, sometimes we have to say, excuse me, mama. Sometimes we have to say, excuse me, grandma. No disrespect. And just find what feels good and resonates for you. The way that this resonates for me, this crystal is called a mookieite. I may be pronouncing it wrong, but just follow me. It represents embracing new beginnings. It's a protective stone that encourages you to stay motivated when you are stepping into new territory. So whenever I'm waking up and I'm feeling like, oh, I'm a little wobbly, I don't know where I'm going, I'm not sure how my day is going to unfold, I'm going to pick up this crystal and guess what I'm going to do? It's going with me throughout my day. Because while I'm going throughout my day and the unknown is going to happen, guess what I have is my mindfulness tool to remind me I'm protected. Not saying that I'm putting power in this to protect me, but this is my mindfulness tool to remind me of the intentions that I set with myself. I'm protected, I'm covered, I got this, all is well. Whenever I'm feeling anxious while standing in line, whenever I'm just not knowing what to do, I rub my bracelet, I rub my waist. I'm tuned in to me, to how I can be truthful in my days and things that help me to get through my days as my tools, y'all. So I want to ask you, what's in your toolbox? What type of techniques and tools and remedies do you use when your mind is just like blah? What do you do? How do you connect to your source when you're needing to feel more grounded with yourself? Another tool, candles. This candle is white. The color white represents new beginnings. The color white represents purity. It represents light. It represents truth speaking. So guess what? When I lock my eyes with the color white, no matter what space I'm in, I'm walking in that room with light. I'm walking in that room and I'm reminded before I go through that door, speak your truth. Stay true to you. Excuse me, a mindfulness tool. Whenever you're needing to shift the vibe of the space that you're in, light you a candle. Take in the aroma. Breathe. What's in your toolbox? Okay? Another tool. Before I even move on to that, my waist beads. I'm not wearing any, but let me tell y'all how powerful repetition and consistency is, okay? I'm not wearing any because I'm resetting. I'm in the process of handcrafting new waist beads to represent new energies, to represent this new season, this new space of my life. I need some newness. But repetition is so powerful. So because I've been wearing them for the past 3 years, every single day, since the last 3 years, I've been affirming myself, reminding myself of my intentions with myself, with my waist beads. Guess what I still do today, even though I have none on me? When I'm in that shower or I'm taking my bath, I still affirm myself. So if my strand represented femininity and it represented self-love, guess what? I am feminine. I'm in my feminine power. Yes, self-love. Me first and then you. If my blue strand represented peace, tranquility, and calm, guess what? I welcome in peace. I welcome in tranquility. I am calm today. I am grounded. All right, are y'all hearing me? Every day. Because again, if there is a screw loose in your wall at home, either you can untwist it this way, or you can tighten it up by twisting it that way. Taking it out means you're removing a belief, you're removing things from your mind, you're removing things from your space that do not serve your mental peace in this moment. Doing the opposite of that means I'm gonna dig that new truth in. I'm gonna affirm myself so well every day that it becomes now a part of my new system, okay? Another system, and this is my last one, is the system of chakras. So the last several weeks, I've started teaching or talking about the system of chakras. Again, as I mentioned, everything in life is a system. The way that you work the system, you learn it, and then you find out how it works for you. Because it will work if you work it. The system of chakras is 7. Chakras are considered to be inner energy alignment wheels. So just like I just used that screwdriver to twist to turn in, that's how we have inner energy wheels inside of us, okay? There are known to be 7 that are universal, but it may be more than that. I don't know everything, but I do know I'm shared. There are 7. Once your chakras are evenly aligned, that's when your Kundalini energy, which Kundalini means, or it's the same as the energy that is known to be used when the world was created. So just imagine how powerful that is, okay? So this type of energy can be laying just in your body, not being used, if not activated. The way that it can be activated is by untwisting. Please tell me if I'm talking to myself or if y'all are with me. Please let me know if it's resonating with you or if you don't really care. No, if you don't really care, as I mentioned before, just go get you some business. You change the channel on me, okay? Change your channel. But the way that it works is by removing and untwisting old negative beliefs, old patterns and behaviors, old people in your life who are just not providing you peace, mental clarity, who are not inspiring you or motivating you. You taking them up out of here. Excuse me, Neil. You just in my wall. Excuse me. Oh, another one. You don't work for me. Oh, negativity. Thank you. You don't work for me. Ooh, fear. I don't want to live my life in fear. So either you're going to unscrew it and take it out, or you're going to tighten it by keep telling yourself that you're afraid. The choice is yours, because who has the tool? I'm holding the tool. So whenever you are deciding to screw in and tighten up beliefs, it's in your control. And when you decide that you've had enough and this no longer serves you, you still got the control. Okay? So we're on our base chakra right now. The base chakra represents foundation. The base chakra represents stability. These years are also ages 0 to 7 or 0 to 8. It's the first 7 years, but it depends on how you count. So I'm going to say both. 0 to 7, which means anything that happened in your life, any type of experiences or exposures that you had, if you haven't gone back in and asked yourself and discovered how that resonates with you, that's how you live in your life right now. If you have trauma or relationship issues with your parents, your mother specifically, it's all tied back to those years. So what I'm doing through these Mindfulness Mondays for the next several moments, next several months, I'm not sure, but I plan to go through all 7, is to just provide you with the awareness. Foundation. What does your base look like? What's the systems that you're running on right now? Is it the I'm not enough system? I have to do what life is telling me that I have to do. I have to work a job that life is telling me that I have to work. I have to live my life how my partner is telling me I need to. Or I'm 35 years old and my parents are still running my life. What systems and beliefs are you still living your life on today? That's the first thing. So we're digging up that. And on the other end, we're replacing that with new patterns and new behaviors. How are we doing that? I just introduced you guys to my whole toolbox. There are other things in that I have not shared, such as my yoga mat, such as spaces like that have found me, because nobody in my family does yoga. Nobody in my family or my life or my neighborhood ever introduced me to breathing. I went on a trip one time with my cousin, and that was the first time that I even knew what it was. And I'm sitting here thinking, there are tools and resources out here like this that people don't just share. I think that's unacceptable. So the things that I know and things that I know to be for sure things that work for me, I'm going to share them with you. You can take what you can, put it into your toolbox and see if it works for you. Things that don't, you say, excuse me, and you find things that do. If you don't journal, that's your business, but try it. Try picking up a pen and just allowing your wrist to just write. You'll be surprised of what comes out. Try picking up a pen and going back to your earliest memory and just writing about that. You'll be surprised of what comes out. Okay? So what's in your toolbox? I want us to do this live and basically tell y'all all my business, because that's the foundation of my truth. This is the foundation of how I became, and how I am becoming. And I'm okay with sharing that. Okay? So the foundation of who I am right now looks like the tools and the way of thinking that I just showed you. But the way that you do it, we got to change the way that we think. There's a famous quote, I can't think of who named it or who said it. If you change the way that you look at things, the things that you look at will change. So that's what we're going to do. But again, you have to have an open mind. An open mind allows you to welcome in things that you may not even know that you needed. Okay? I thank y'all so much for tuning in with me. I thank y'all so much for just allowing me into this space, because this is a very personal and intimate area of my life that I am really exposing. But if me exposing myself will help somebody else in their process of healing, if me exposing myself will help somebody else get out of the thinking that I can't do this, I'm not enough, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve this, and shifting that to, oh, I am enough. Oh, I am loved. I got this. I am empowered. That's what I'm gonna do. If y'all have any questions, any comments, any feedback, suggestions for me, I would love to hear it. Okay? If you got any type of negativity, again, remember that you are in control of your tuner, your station, and your channels. You change that channel if it's not resonating with you. Okay? Thank y'all for tuning in. Please go back and watch it from the beginning if you are just now joining in so you can get my whole message. You got to put it into context. If that doesn't work for you, go back to the original video that I posted earlier today of just a little piece of my truth. Okay? And until next Monday, y'all have an amazing week. Think about what's in your toolbox. Think about what type of techniques and routines that you have that help you to come back to your source. Working out is another one, absolutely. Again, it will work if you work it. Okay? How often do I meditate? I meditate every day. Daily. I also practice yoga, which is a moving meditation, which are both tools that are more beneficial outside of the space of just sitting still. But walking through your day with these mindfulness techniques and mindfulness tools that can help you to be a better you. And again, to live your life in your full truth. Let me get off here running my mouth, y'all. Y'all have an amazing night. Don't you let anyone steal your joy, including you. If you are stealing your own joy, go reset yourself, excuse yourself, go light you a candle, go find you something nice to eat, go get you some business, okay? And you do something that you know is going to empower you and make you feel good. If that doesn't work, just take your nap, try again. Holla! Thank y'all.